Greetings, Minecrafters, and welcome to another exciting chat on all things well-being related. My name is Dr. Kimberly Quinn, and it is my role here to help people become the boss of their brains, I guess, right? To become the boss of your thoughts, because thoughts come first and feelings come second, and then action and behavior third. Wow, it looks so September here today. Not quite full throttle fall, but it's starting to change. And there's Giovanni in the Beaver Pond. Okay, so here we go. Today's chat is on letting go of outcomes. It's just so important, and it can seem like it's so hard, but it really isn't. It isn't hard. And this chat is all about detaching. So the first way I want to, well, it's all the same thing we're really talking about, because it can be an outcome that's in a relationship, that you've kind of attached, that you have this idea in mind. It can be another type of attachment where a friend has kind of brought drama. They're a friend, okay, but they've got some drama going on, and you become really attached to like showing them that this isn't the right way, and you're right. And you might be right, like they might be going down an unhealthy road with a relationship or something, but now you're all involved and attached. They might have an attachment to you, which has you attached to them. And this can seem like it's just really hard to do. And here's the like, I guess the main thing, one of the main things here is that as human beings, we really don't do anything unless there's some sort of payoff in it. And the payoff means we're being reinforced, and it doesn't necessarily mean healthy. We think payoff, we think maybe paycheck, but really payoff is anything that keeps us wanting to continue whatever it is we're doing, which definitely doesn't have to be healthy. And so I want to talk about how completely liberating it is to detach, and it's actually has me thinking of, I feel like I'm having a stray brain cell or squirrel moment from a child being like at one of my parents' AA meetings, or it's very 12-step-ish about detaching. You can detach with love, so it doesn't mean you don't care anymore. It doesn't mean you don't care about the person, but it means you're stepping out of the current of the drama. And I'll tell you, that is actually one thing I'm pretty good at, and maybe it's because of my growing up, which most of you know about by now. I repel drama, honestly. I guess maybe I had enough growing up, but this can be hard, especially if we know we're right, and you really are right. Okay, it can be very hard to suck it up. But one of the, I guess, guiltiest pleasures, or guiltiest ego, ooh, there we go. One of the guiltiest ego pleasures is that need we have to be right, because it's just so freaking enjoyable, right? It is. It's just like a dope fix. It's like, and it can be hard to stave that off, because it does feel so good, to be right. And really, to be able to let go of that attachment to that drama or situation. Oh, here comes the rain. Okay, let's go in the woods. Here it comes. It's pouring. To be able to let go of that attachment is so incredibly liberating. It's freedom. It's so liberating that it frees up the authentic self to really be fully free and just powerful, with lack of a better word, powerful in a good way, because authentic power can only go good places. Okay, this was good timing. It's pouring, but I'm in the woods, and so you can't really tell that, I don't think. All right, so now the other thing I want to talk about is, so that was like a relationship example, or a drama with friends example, or whatever, and also just plain old outcomes. I'm thinking of, it can be in the workplace, it can be, whatever it is that has a goal, or something that you're doing. And I have a few examples here. For example, these videos, I just do this because I love it. I'm not looking at the likes and the subscribes and all that stuff. And I don't know if anybody noticed, I don't know if you did or not, it doesn't really matter. I mean, because I just love doing it. Again, I'm in the flow zone. I just get excited, and I couldn't wait to come here today, even though it's pouring, because I had this in my head and I just had to talk about it. And I stopped saying that. I watched, there's just a couple of YouTubers that I actually watch, to be truthful with you, but they have really good tips. And sometimes they'll say at the end, if you like this, press like or subscribe or whatever. And I did that the first few times, kind of intermittently, I guess. I don't do that anymore, because, and it's not that I don't care. I care very much about doing the videos. I'm not in it for the likes and the subscribes. I'm just not. It's just fun for me. It feels so natural. It feels just so natural and passionate for me to just, you know, kind of, or just to just follow that. Like, it's kind of like scratching an itch or something. I don't know, but I just want to do it, and hopefully help people to see their own value a bit more. And now it's really pouring. Good timing here. To see their own value a bit more and bring some more positivity into the world. That is really the plan. That's it. Okay, so the thing with letting go of outcomes involves being more process based, and to do stuff not as a means but as an end, you know, not for likes, not for money. Money's a side effect of doing our passion anyway, and that can be much easier to say than to do, but it is true. You know, it is absolutely true. It's a side effect. When we follow our passion, you know, the rest really comes into place. So basically, to do things because you just plain old love it. It brings you joy, and I truly believe people can get that no matter what it is you're doing. In fact, our dentist, actually, there's like 3 at the practice, but they're the 2 of the 3, I only know 2 of them, are very similar. And one of them says to me, I absolutely love what I do, and he's got this whole backstory about, you know, stuff that happened to him younger, and, you know, why it's so important to him to be a dentist, and he had, you know, just stuff as a teenager and self-conscious stuff, and you can tell that he absolutely loves being a dentist. Well, doesn't that make you feel better being a patient? I mean, yeah, totally. So people can pick up on that authenticity no matter what your calling is, for sure. So I have been very focused for a long time, though I occasionally need a refresher. And again, I also like when the universe just lets you know. You know, I look up these things to do for videos, and I think I mentioned the last one, I was researching some things to do for my Mindful Times newsletter, and it was like the universe put, like in Vegas, neon signs all over, like blank, blank, blank. Notice me, you know, start your day fresh, da da da. And now it's like a neon sign saying, let go of outcomes, because it's the opposite of being free. We become attached to them. They're like a barnacle on your ass. And the truth is, when we focus on the process, the outcome generally just happens probably better anyway, because you're doing your best to make it happen. Now, I have an example of this, actually, which I just thought of right before I came here to be in the pouring rain. It's actually kind of funny. Okay, so I write for Psychology Today, which I really, really enjoy a lot. That's also a flow zone for me. I love to write, like I love to do videos, like I love to teach, because the main theme here is engaging and bringing positivity to the world, right? Because that's what I write about, is well-being stuff. Okay, so also I have a friend / colleague who's the last couple, she's co-authored a couple with me. And so one day I had enough papers to grade to choke a horse, and I had set that Saturday afternoon to do that, and and then all of a sudden I got this email across, just came flying across, that it was Psychology Today. It was like an automated thing, the 90 days, and I forgot all about their rule about, I'm usually writing them consistently, but I had other stuff going on, so 90 days basically went by to that day. And not that they don't bump you totally, but you kind of lose your visibility stature. I'm not exactly sure, but it was bad. Like, I had to fix it. So I had this stack of papers. I'm like, oh my God, I have to write an emergency article right now so that I can co-author with my friend next week, because otherwise it would have changed the whole thing. And so I pushed those papers aside just for a little bit. It just meant I was going to be up really late at night. And I sat there and spent a good couple hours and I figured, I also did something I know I could do in my sleep. So of course it was ADHD, because that's like, I can do that in my sleep. So my head was in it, my heart was in it, totally in this passionate, authentic, real flow zone. Hammered it out. It was called Understanding ADHD. Don't quote me, because I didn't look at it before I came here, of course. Understanding ADHD, or Understanding the Core 4 Traits, something like that. So when I did proofread, make sure it was all neat and clean and packaged and typo-free and all that, hit send, and that was the fastest I have ever written a Psychology Today article ever, because it was an emergency article, which is funny, because that's how it's become known to my family and friends, as the emergency article. Well, prior to the emergency article, which did get me back on the grid, by the way, you know, like if I would write whatever article about positive stress mindset or whatever. Also, I enjoyed all of them, but I would check, like every so often I'd go in and check, oh good, the views are up, oh great, the views are up, and I would kind of check, oh, must be people like that one, or this one's not such a big hit. I wrote one called I Lonely, like iPhone, during the pandemic, and I thought that would be a huge success, and it wasn't at all. It totally bombed. So anyway, the emergency article happened, I did that for the sole purpose of just, I was in the zone writing it. I just was like, bang, send. So I went on and did other stuff, all the other stuff that I do, like videos and teaching, and completely forgot about it. Completely forgot about it. No outcome, because it wasn't even in my head. And then I went into Psychology Today a couple weeks later or whatever to check something else out, and I can see the list of articles, and you can see the views. And it showed the emergency article is ADHD, whatever, understanding the core 4. And right now it's just under, it has 45,000 views. And I almost almost like spit out my iced tea, like, holy shit. And that happened fast. And it's just like this example of not paying attention to it, didn't care, not in a bad way. I cared about writing it. I just didn't care about the outcome. And look what happened. It like 3 times the views of one of my other ones. And it's just, it's wow. And there's actually also a book out there, something similar, called The Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And F-U-C-K, right? I'm just used to spelling around kids who are now young adults, so that doesn't even work anyway. But when we attach to outcomes, even if the outcome is like a person, like we want them to do something or change, or we want to attach to their drama, that's us attempting to manipulate our external world. So we're trying to fix something on the inside. There's something about us that has a need for that external, need to be right, need to fix something, need to please, need to whatever, okay? And that is something going on the inside, and it doesn't generally go very well. Plus, it's stifling, it's restricting, it's like, for me, it's like suffocating. When we let go of that attachment to whatever it is, even if we're right, okay, and we let go of an outcome, then it is so incredibly freeing. And also when we don't, I have a good friend of mine, actually, Champlain. I've listened to him for years, Bjarne. I love Bjarne. If you're listening, Bjarne, I miss you. He would say for years, like, control's an illusion, and he's so right. When we try to control other people by attaching to their drama or their relationships or whatever, and we adhere to these outcomes, basically we're saying we don't trust the universe, or we don't trust God, or we don't trust Source with a capital S, we don't trust the higher power, whatever that is for you. We're not trusting the process. We're not trusting, the creator of all things, whatever you want to say. And that doesn't usually go well for us. And when we let go, not the forgiveness way, but also in an attachment way too, when we truly let go, man, there's the authentic power that takes over, because the authentic self is back in the driver's seat. We are free. I mean, I think of like, spread your wings and fly free. And then the universe is more apt to give you stuff because you're free and available. And there's so many people saying this same thing. So many people saying the same thing. So what feels hard doesn't really have to be. Just like the rest of what we're talking about in Minecraft, it comes down to choice, conscious choice, and then commitment, right? Choose to let go of whatever it is. It also doesn't mean set a goal. I didn't say that. We can set a goal and then let go of the goal and focus on doing our best. And so there you go. Let go of the outcomes. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off from Northern Vermont. Have a mindful day.